Good morning and welcome. Today we're here to go over the new Year 4 Health unit to be completed this term. This is a real fun unit that also preps the students as they progress into their final years with us here at primary school and move into high school. The unit is titled Safety Detectives, and by that name we can develop the idea that safety is our number one concern here. We can unpack that a bit deeper as we move through the remaining slides. We're wanting the students to understand situations that carry a potential danger and working through strategies with them to solve the problem that may arise and remain safe or seek adult help if it is needed. So a bit more context here for the unit. As we discussed, it is a health unit, and the main topic or idea is that students are recognizing protective behaviors. In other words, ways to remain safe and seek help from trusted adults. The reason this is such an integral unit of learning, especially in this age that the world is developing around our students, it can be unforgiving, and unfortunately in and around this area, it has the potential to become quite dangerous either online or out in the community. So the unit will incorporate a blended style of work, meaning that it will take place both in the classroom and online, with the help of some high quality digital tools in a synchronous way. So our online lesson will be happening in real time, where immediate feedback, discussion, collaboration, and immersiveness can occur. So let's see how this unit links to our version 9 of the curriculum. Our content descriptor in focus is describe and apply protective behaviors and help-seeking strategies in a range of online and offline situations. As part of our learning will be taking place online, there's some elements of use the core features of common digital tools to share content, plan tasks, and collaborate. Following agreed behaviors supported by trusted adults there at the end as well. The suggested length for our unit is 5 weeks here, and it'll be run in the normal allocated HBE time for the class. Although you'll all be off site for 2 of these 5 weeks, we've already planned around this. And what will happen is a TRS will come into the class and take them to the school's computer lab. You'll have an hour offline to be available to run the lesson with the class that week remotely, and hence the importance hence the important need to incorporate digital tools to achieve that deep conceptual understanding of the unit and its learning intentions. Speaking of learning intentions, we can see in the slides here that they are student use digital tools to share content, plan tasks, collaborate with peers, explore, construct meaning, participate and engage in tasks that describe protective behaviors and help-seeking strategies, applying this learning to real-world scenarios as well. Very important, we are using an inquiry-based teaching and learning strategy here to fully immerse our students into the unit, construct a connection to real-life scenarios, and ensure learning is deep, not just surface level, remembering and recalling of facts. Students are essentially answering the question within their work: what choices can I make to protect myself and others, and who can I turn to for help when my strategies are not working? Here's a quick structured guideline, starting with an introduction to the topic, the inquiry question that we just went through, and what is required from the students during the learning sequence. Moving into the first online task, we're going to be using Padlet to collaborate with their classmates, construct ideas, and basically the rest of the remaining tasks in the unit will be built upon this knowledge of what the students create in their Padlet discussion board. So it'll be followed by a classroom reflection of what was learned and or discussed in the collaboration board. They'll then make a what to do flowchart of how to deal with situations as they arise, and then start the planning process for their second online task, which will be completed remotely again. So this will be a short storyboard that depicts a story from their flowchart, and a character following the steps that they've created to stay safe and seek help. We will close the unit by the students presenting their storyboard and discussing why they made the choices that they did during the assessment period. So let's explore these online tasks in depth, as you'll be off-site running these online, so aiming to give you as much information as we can here. For the Padlet task, students are divided into 3 groups with the goal of 3 discussion boards being created from the week 1 introductory knowledge. Each group will work on a discussion board, adding their ideas collaboratively within their group. After about 10 minutes, the groups will swap boards and be put into breakout rooms to have an online discussion about what they see and what ideas they can add onto their new board. This is repeated until each group has had the opportunity to work on each title. And like we said at the start, these storyboards are going to facilitate the following lessons. The tasks that we do in the following lessons. So it's important that they're not deleted and they're accessible over the next few weeks. The teacher has the ability in the tool to filter posts and approve them before they show on the discussion board. So this will help our engagement principles through sustained communication and management as well. We can see in the example here that a clear expectation of answers is scaffolded with some teacher prompts that have already been left. The design of the board is also up to each team. There's a lot of choices, colors, icons available to keep the students engaged and student-owned and give them that creative flair for their board. So it feels like a lot more of just a brainstorm activity. They can create it to visually please them however they want as well. The second task is a storyboard, and it is completed in a very easy tool to use called Storyboard That. Some elements are behind a paywall, but a strong sequence of events can still be constructed in the free section by the students. The task requires students to make connections to the learning of the unit and give evidence of a deep understanding and inquiry approach to meet the requirements of the assessment piece. Following on from the creation of their what to do flowcharts in the week prior, in a team of 3, students will create a storyboard that follows a process they covered on their flowchart. The scenario is either online or in real life and is chosen by the students. The structure of the storyboard is to follow these guidelines: a problem, applying a protective strategy, and then seeking help. So there are 3 steps that they're going to guide their storyboard off. And then in the example, we can see that a girl is approached by some kids. They ask her to perform a dangerous stunt. The girl recognizes the danger and reflects a feeling of unrest and that she is not safe. She then seeks help by a trusted adult, in this case her parents. We can see these students have followed the learning intentions and constructed a great story of how, who, and what we can see or do in an uncomfortable encounter that might not feel safe. So just to finish up, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a homework activity to take away before you begin the teaching of this. What prompts can you add to begin the discussion board to ensure a wide variety of settings, dangers, strategies, and trusted people to help in those situations are discussed? I'll leave you with some connecting remarks to conclude on in the slides below. Have a great rest of the day, and as always, reach out if I can help with any information that you need. Thank you.